Hello, my dears! I am Andressa Maia, this is Falando Nisso, and in this video I want to talk about this that is probably one of the most common mistakes that people who are learning Portuguese make. The difference between TODO and CADA, okay? But before we start, subscribe and activate the notifications so you don't miss any of the new videos, and also follow me on Instagram, where you will find many tips about vocabulary, grammar, curiosities, expressions. You don't want to miss it, so follow me on Instagram as well. Now, TODO and CADA. When should you use each one? They are not interchangeable like every and each in English. So many people say things like cada dia eu acordo cedo, trying to say every day I wake up early, but this is wrong. You should say todo dia. But what is the difference? So cada gives an idea of separation, individual, okay? You are specifying something. When you use CADA, you are actually trying to introduce ideas that are different, something different that happens. When you use todo or toda, you are talking about the totality, you are generalizing, okay? It's about the general idea, it's the totality of something, so that is the main difference. Let me give you a situation, okay, to illustrate this explanation. Imagine I'm giving a lecture, motivational lecture, and I want to say the sentence, every person has a special talent. I actually have two options here. Toda pessoa tem talento especial, or cada pessoa tem talento especial. In this case, and in some cases it will happen, both words work. It's not like one is wrong or, right. But the idea is different. There is a subtle difference depending on which one you choose. I'm giving this example like I'm giving a lecture and I'm speaking to a group of people, because if I choose the first option, my gesture would be different from the ones I would use if I choose the second option. So if I say this using todo, I would do something like this. Toda pessoa tem talento especial. But if I say this using cada, I would do something like cada pessoa tem talento especial, or even cada pessoa tem talento especial. Because when I use cada, I am emphasizing the individual. Each person as an individual, not like the totality, the whole human race or whatever. That's the main difference, and that's what you need to have in mind. Now, let's see some other examples where you will see it more clearly. Toda vez que eu vejo esse filme, eu choro no final. Toda vez que eu vejo esse filme, eu choro no final. Every time I watch this movie, I cry in the end. So, every time the same thing happens. It's all the same. Every time is the same. There is no difference between each time I watch. My experience is the same every time I watch it. So, toda vez, because they are all the same. I always cry in the end. Now see this one. Cada vez que eu leio esse livro, eu aprendo uma coisa nova. Cada vez que eu leio esse livro, eu aprendo uma coisa nova. Each time I read this book, I learn something new. I learn a new thing. So my experience, each time I learn the book, is different. It's a new experience because I learned something new. So, I'm individualizing, I'm separating the experiences I have when I read the book, because they are not equal, they are not the same, they are different. So I need to use cada. Another example. Eu vou para o trabalho todo dia pelo mesmo caminho, mas ela vai cada dia por um caminho diferente. Eu vou para o trabalho todo dia pelo mesmo caminho, mas ela vai cada dia por um caminho diferente. I go to work every day through the same way, but she goes each day through a different way. So I use todo dia because I use the same way to get to work. But to talk about her, I used cada dia because she uses a different way each day. My experience is always the same when I go to work, but her experience is different each time because she chooses a different way. I want you to notice the key words here. When you use todo or toda, often you will see the word mesmo in the same sentence, the same, because that's the idea. And when you use cada, many times you will also use diferente, okay? Cada dia caminho diferente. Cada dia caminho novo. So words that indicate this change will appear with cada. Another example. Eu não aguento mais essa menina. Toda hora ela fala a mesma coisa. I can't stand this girl anymore. Every time she says the same thing. Eu não aguento mais essa menina. Toda hora ela fala a mesma coisa. Não, eu não consigo entender essa menina. Cada hora ela fala uma coisa. I can't understand this girl. Each time she says something different. This one is interesting because the word diferente actually doesn't appear because it's not necessary. The word cada itself is enough to give this idea. So when I say, eu não entendo essa menina, eu não consigo entender essa menina, cada hora ela fala uma coisa. I can stop the sentence here and the word different, diferente, in the end is actually implied, you know? Cada already gives me the idea that each time she says something different, okay? Now, there are two situations where only the word cada works. And this is when we are talking about intervals of time. For example, a gente visita nossos avós a cada 6 meses. We visit our grandparents every 6 months. A gente visita nossos avós a cada 6 meses. Or, for example, nós fazemos almoço em família a cada 15 dias. We have a family lunch every 15 days. A cada 15 dias. So every time you are talking about an interval, you need to use cada. Another very particular situation when we use cada is when we want to emphasize that something is very unusual. For example, imagine someone says something very nonsense to you. You can say, você fala cada coisa. Você fala cada coisa. This is like saying, you speak such nonsense things, you know, like absurd. So this cada is there to emphasize this idea of something that is very unusual. And we use this as well to talk about weird or unusual situations that happen to us. Okay? So imagine that someone tells you a very weird situation that they experienced. You can tell them, olha, é cada coisa que acontece com você. É cada coisa que acontece com você. It's like saying, you know, it's such weird things that happens to you. It's actually difficult to express this idea in English. How would you say that, you know? But we use cada in this idea a lot. It's actually a very common way to use it. So, the main thing here, make sure you remember, todo, totality, okay? It's the general idea, it's the whole, it's always the same. Cada, individual, separation, difference. This is what is important for you to remember, okay? Thanks for watching. I hope you find it useful and see you in the next video. Bye bye.